Hey guys, I'm Chiku from Chiku Study Corner, and today I'll be dealing with the biology chapter 1 of class 12, that is reproduction in organisms. So without any further ado, let's get into the chapter. So under this, the first thing that we have to learn is the word lifespan. Lifespan is, it is the time period from birth to not death, it should be natural death. So now we know after an organism is born, it grows, it dies. Again, in the period of growth, I'll show you. Birth, growth, death. Yeah, and then this growth, that time there is reproduction, and again birth, then goes growth, and again this process continues, then death. Again during this growth there is reproduction, this process continues. So what is reproduction? Reproduction is a biological process which helps in the continuity of generation or continuity of a species. And also you say that reproduction is a biological process that helps to to make the correct or to make something that's similar to oneself, and that oneself, that offspring matures and then it gives rise to its younger ones. So that is what is all about reproduction as a definition. Now we learn how many types of reproduction is there. So as we all know, reproduction are of two types. So reproduction is of two types, that is sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So we'll write the differences of each of them. To talk about sexual reproduction, we all know sexual reproduction requires two parents. So sexual reproduction requires, so what would be like reproduction, that is divided into two, sexual, asexual. So under sexual there are two parents, there is two parents, and under asexual there is only one parent. Then over here in the sexual reproduction there is fusion of gametes. Gametes are fused to form their offspring. Whereas in asexual reproduction there is no formation of gametes nor there is fusion of gametes. Okay, and the next point is the variations. There is high variation, high chance of variation in sexual reproduction. Whereas in the case of asexual reproduction, there is, like, you can say there is no variation or very little variation because they are identical. Like usually it is identical. And then next is this sexual reproduction happens only in higher organisms, whereas asexual reproduction happens in Monera or Protista. Okay, and then now we have to learn a term called as clone. So what is clone? We have all heard about clones. So we learn the definition of clone. So clone is, it is genetically and morphologically similar offsprings. That is, usually clones are not born naturally in sexual reproduction, whereas in asexual reproduction you can say all the offsprings are clones of their parents. So now we learn about asexual reproduction in detail. So asexual reproduction, under it we learn about amoeba first. So amoeba, it is a unicellular organism. So amoeba does a asexual mode of reproduction known as binary fission. So what is it? Binary fission. What does bi means? Bi means two, or bi, di, everything has the same meaning of two. So binary fission means the cell divides into two. That is, a cell is divided into half. Two cells. Now one cell is divided into two and forms daughter cells. Each, after splitting, you don't say mother cell and baby cell. You say both as daughter cells. Here the death of parent happened to the reproduction, of the reproduction. So over here we will draw an amoeba, a rough sketch of an amoeba. This is its nucleus. After that, the nucleus slowly divides. It becomes bigger, elongates, and then the amoeba is still the same. After that, the amoeba, the outer cell also divide. This is the next one. The last stage is the formation of the daughter cells. Yep, this is the formation of daughter cells. So this is what is called as binary fission. So next we are going to learn about yeast, where budding happens. So let's see what is budding and what is yeast. So yeast is also a unicellular organism. So we learn about yeast. Yeast does budding. Budding is also an asexual mode of reproduction. So yeast is something that looks like this. When budding happens, there are small growths over here. Can you see the small growths? Like this, multiple of them grows, and when they mature, they break and then forms new individuals. Here, the death of parent is not happening. It is maturation and forming new ones. The parent is still there after even the dispatching or after these mature, buds fall off. So this is about yeast. Even Hydra does the same. Even Hydra has the same it does budding, so it has the same procedures. Hydra is something that looks like this. Maybe. This will also form buds. There it also has this. This buds will break after maturation. So this is about Hydra. So next we learn about Chlamydomonas. So Chlamydomonas does its reproduction with the help of zoospores. So zoospores are motile, but they have flagella. Motile and with flagella. And then next is they are endogenously produced. What do you mean by endogenously produced? That is produced inside the sporangia. There are other organisms which they produce their spores exogenously. I'll tell you about it. So this is Chlamydomonas. Okay, next we have to learn about Penicillium. So next organism is Penicillium. It does reproduction with the help of Conidia. Actually, Conidia spelling is Conida, Conida, but it's pronounced as Conidia. So this is Conidia. They are also spores, but the spores have, they do not have flagella. It's not motile, and these spores are special. They're exogenously produced. They're not produced inside a sporangia. So this is to talk about Penicillium. Now we'll discuss about that is gemmules. So gemmules are a mode of reproduction by which sponges reproduce, and this is an endogenously produced spore. Okay, gemmules are the mode of reproduction which sponge is used. Okay. Now the next one we have to learn is very common, that is vegetative propagation. So what is vegetative propagation? That is when you plant or when you do reproduction without the help of seed or other reproductive parts, such as seed can be root, either seed or root, any other part. If you keep a leaf, that is a vegetative propagation. If you keep a stem, that's a vegetative propagation. Flower is a vegetative propagation methods. So next we learn about the various other vegetative reproductive parts. So first we learn about potato. So about potato, it's a stem tuber. The potato stem or the potato eye is used for its reproduction. The next one is about ginger. Ginger reproduces by the help of rhizome. Now, bryophyllum, that's very common. We learned in our lower classes. What is bryophyllum? Bryophyllum is a plant which reproduces by the help of small buds formed in the leaves. So, bryophyllum. That's the next example. And then now we learn about agave, that is reproducing by the help of bulbils. And the last one that we have to learn under vegetative reproduction is water hyacinth. Water hyacinth. That is grown or that is reproduced with the help of offsets. So water hyacinth offset is, this is the water hyacinth plant. This is how I have sketched the plant. So this is the leaves and this is the root. This is the leaf and this is the root. This portion, no, there is a stem-like portion over here. This is called the offset. This would break and form new plants. And then this water hyacinth is called as the terror of Bengal, because this plant absorbs oxygen from the water, which will result in the death of water aquatic organisms. So in Bengal, when this had a massive spread, like if there is one, like within weeks, the whole pond would be full with this water hyacinth. That is why it is known as terror of Bengal. So today I have come to the end of this portion about reproduction organisms. See you in my next video. I will be uploading notes in my description, so please go download it and watch it. If you liked my video, please hit the like button. Please do subscribe and share my video. See you soon. Bye-bye.